We are live and we're going to be talking about everything crypto, including XRP getting flipped by BNB because it seems to be BNB meme coin season. So it makes sense that XRP is no longer ranked higher than BNB via market cap, primarily because there's a lot of liquidity, a lot of volume happening on BNB because of meme coin season. This is something similar that we saw during what is it called? Solana season. And it happens in general. So welcome back to the show. Everything crypto every day. I'm WendyO. Like this video. Drop me a comment because I read them all, and subscribe and set alerts. I'm also in a really, really pissed off mood because healthcare is an absolute scam in the United States of America. Like, I can just go on and on and on about it. That's why I look like this. I've been on the phone with Kaiser for the last hour trying to get a copy of my my daughter's x-rays because they don't give you x-rays same day. Even though every other facility I've been to will give you x-rays same day. Or access. They're not even on her portal. So it's absolutely absurd. But again, this is what it is. So we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about the news. We actually have a lot of traditional financial news in regards to crypto, which is good. And to the people that are a little bit like, oh my God, you know, XRP, blah, 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 BNB flipped market cap, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, what's going on? Another one of these days, right? And I thought this was working. Apparently it's not. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit because it seems that some people are a little bit upset. So BNB surpasses XRP to become the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. And when we take a look at what's going on, we're actually going to look at, and to me, honestly, it's not a really big deal. Like, it's not a really big deal that this happened. This is actually good. This shows positive competition between different cryptos. Like, you can't always have what you want. So it actually didn't, as far as cryptos go, BNB is currently number 3. XRP is number 5, but Tether doesn't really count because it's a stable coin, in my personal opinion. So I don't think that's that big of an issue. But when we take a look at BNB, the total volume is about 10 million. XRP is, or excuse me, 10 billion. XRP is 7 billion. And the market cap is 172 billion and BNB is 179. So it's not really that big of a difference. And we used to see this happen a lot, especially in 2018. So that's kind of what it is. Not that big of a deal in my personal opinion. Like, we're going to see different crypto assets flip in market cap. And again, this is a good thing. This is not like, oh my God, XRP is like going to go away. No one wants to use it. No one likes it. No, not at all. The fact that we're seeing BNB make a little bit of head waves is good. It's positive competition. This is exactly what we want to see. It's good. It's wonderful. It's great. It's fantastic. Also, too, if these were two projects that were similar in fundamentals, I'd be like, okay, we might want to worry a little bit, but it's not. BNB works differently. It's more so an exchange token. And XRP is really trying to replace the current banking system. So two completely different things. I mean, we can't argue that Binance will eventually become a bank in some aspect. A lot of people already use Binance as a bank, especially in other countries, just because the banking industry or banking system is so fragile over there. So it's easier for people to use crypto in some cases. Right. Also, with that being said, Ripple does something completely different. They're going to eventually become a bank, in my opinion, which we're going to watch a video about that later today. It's going to be my channel at 2 p.m. PT about Ripple. That's going to Ripple eventually becoming a bank because that's what they're going to do. So two different fundamentals. So I'm not really too concerned about this. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. But anyways, this is primarily because BNB hit a new all-time high above $1,300. Also, BNB chain leads in active addresses, beating Solana and Ethereum, and primarily because of institutional demand and ecosystem upgrades are also fueling BNB's rise, according to the article we just took a look at. This was also posted, you know, BNB chain flips Solana in 24 hours DEX volume, and that's because there's memes happening on. That's because there's memes happening on BNB right now, and people aren't playing as much on Solana, which is fine. And again, that I would even argue that BNB, like, Solana is a good competitor of Ethereum, but I would argue that BNB is kind of in its own little bit of a classification, in my personal opinion. Shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. I'm a little bit crabby today because of my daughter's stuff, because, you know, when you're a mama or when you're a parent and your kid is not getting the care that they need, then you get a little bit frustrated. So there's that. One of the things I'll say too is that I think it's important if you don't have a healthcare partner, if you don't have someone that works in healthcare in your family, my heart goes out to you. I've got an extensive healthcare background. My sister is the best investment I ever made was paying for her medical school. So she didn't have to worry. So she just go and be the best at what she does, because she does right, so much right by her patients, by the kiddos that she works with. So that was the best investment I ever made. Anyways, let's get back into it. I'm going to stop being crabby. I'm just pissed off because I want to advocate for my kid and they're not letting me advocate for her. All right. So now when we're talking about BNB and BNB is like its own little thing. Like, I don't think we can even see that compete properly with Solana and Ethereum, because I feel like the fundamentals are a lot different. You know, I don't know. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. And I hold BNB. I've got a moon bag of it. Also, CEA Industries discloses 480,000 BNB corporate treasury as Binance linked token surge. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is because this is part of the DATS, the digital asset treasury strategies. And the reason why those are important is because a lot of people are dumping money into these. XRP companies have done this with XRP. But BNB is kind of silently doing this. Really, really, really silently doing this. BNB is Binance's native token for the exchange. It used to be BNB used to be a lot bigger in like 2018, 2019, even 2020, primarily because we were able to use it in the US. And allegedly the CFTC is going to create a pathway for US citizens to use offshore exchanges. So we'll see. But BNB was a lot more popular, kind of like way back then in America, but globally it's like one of the top ones. So there's that. And, but again, with the DATs, those are kind of important to pay attention to. Those are things we talk about. Not all DATs, digital asset treasuries are made the same. I personally, like me, if I was going to be investing in these stocks, I would really like to pay attention to, ones that are using the assets, the crypto assets they have for day-to-day operations. That's where I would like to see. And I believe Vivo Power is doing that with XRP. Now, so the ticker for this is BNC. Average purchase price is $860 per BNB. They acquired 91,000 BNB since early September. They want to own 1% of BNB's total supply year on end. That's a lot, but hey. Now, I do want to, before we get into a lot of the institutional stuff, I do want to take a look at the entire market, because you know, things are doing things. Cake is up, BNB is up, and the reason why those are up, being part of BNB's ecosystem. Pump is up a little bit too. Zcash is down, and everything seems to be a little bit red. Little bit red. Thank you so much, Terry, so much for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. And I'm not really down. I'm just mad because like I worked in healthcare for so long, and we no longer have personalized healthcare in the United States of America. And the reason why that bothers me is because like healthcare is it's a big part of our lives. Like the fact that we have to pay for health insurance, we're required to, or we get fined, but we're not getting proper care or personalized care anymore. That's a problem, especially when it comes to our elderly and our kids. That's my issue. But again, because it's my daughter, it's frustrating. I have issues with Kaiser in general. I've had issues with them, but I continue to use them, because navigating without the healthcare without that is also a hot mess, but probably going to end up switching. Anyways, good morning to Dale. Good morning to John, to Marvin, to Lawrence, to gorgeous Alexandra, to Mr. Gamer, and to everybody else watching. Thank you so much. And Terry for the $9.99 super chat, Jonathan Perez, Sparkwater, and everybody else. All right, let's go ahead and get back to it because I'm crappy. I do blame the ACA. I was there. I worked in healthcare right when the ACA was implemented. So when I started working at the facility, we had a CRM database. And because I was a new hire and I learned it so quick, they actually had me train the entire region. Most of the region with that brand new database. So we learned how to do that, whatever. And then I saw healthcare. I processed claims. I did patient care coordination, did a lot of stuff with medications. I saw how that was before the ACA. And then they instituted the ACA. So I saw the switch in that and I saw exactly what happened. And probably one of the most frustrating things for me was having to refuse care to clients because they were not eligible for the ACA and different benefits through that, even though they had the same infectious disease that someone else did that was on the ACA, but they didn't get access to the ACA at that time because they made too much money because they were a doctor. I can talk about, like, maybe one day I'll do like a thing, whatever, but there's just all kinds of stuff. with that I've got a really, really big problem with. I'm so sorry. I know. It's like if you work and you have a decent amount of job, yeah, it was the largest HIV/AIDS nonprofit globally. That's what I did. I had a really low level title job, but I did patient care coordination. But anyways, it's just unfortunate to see that happen. I could go on and on about it, but it makes me mad because it is what it is. And I hope to see it go away. I hope that the system gets a revamp because like having to wait a month for a doctor's appointment is absurd. Having to wait 3 to 10 days to get my kids' x-rays is absurd. Like just many, many things. But anyway, let's get back into it. So IBIT, we've got a story about IBIT. IBIT is actually like one of the top performing ETFs like of all time. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a pullback right now, which makes sense because Bitcoin is also pulling back. Gold is at $3,900. Gold is probably going to hit 4K or 5K faster than Ethereum. Ethereum actually rocked all the way up to $4,700 and we had a pullback to $4,400. Me personally, I just want to stay above 4,000 over here. And in addition to that, oh my God, there was something in relation to that. I think there was $160 million that were liquidated in 60 minutes, longs that were liquidated. I think that's what happened. Yeah, 160 million worth of crypto longs liquidated in the past 60 minutes. So people were longing the market. They're probably market longing or longing the top and just using too much leverage. So. Hey, so that's what's going on. No need to do that. Just sit on your hands. I've been sitting on my hands. And that's what you need to do. Well, do what you want to do. I don't care. I'm not here to tell you what you do, but I just think it's a good idea. But anyway, Bitcoin's having a little bit of a correction. That's fine. We're at $120,000. Boo hoo hoo, whatever. 121,000. We're probably going to tap on 120. Market Cipher printed that the red dot. I was saying we were looking a little bit overbought the other day, which is fine. But not that big of a deal. Honestly, I think things will rebound. Solana trading at 224, XRP at 288. We were not able to break above the trend line. XRP has such a volatile relationship with the trend line. It really, really, really does. Link is also dropping too. It dropped about $2. I will buy Link under $20, but I don't think we'll dip that far. We could, we might not. We don't know. ADA, 83 cents. Oh my God, the entire market's dumping. What are we going to do? Just sit on your hands. HBAR broke down below. Everything was bullish yesterday. Darn. Where the heck is BNB? Here we go. BNB hit $1,300. And I called for $2,000 and I wouldn't be surprised if we did hit $2,000 this cycle. I know that's like a crazy target. And that's only a 48% pump from where we were. But I know it's like a crazy target, but at the same time, this thing is pumping like crazy. Just really kind of considering. Also too, if you would like to trade, on iTrust, we got a little bit of a Cody McCode for them if you guys want to use it. But there are a lot of people that are asking me, how do you roll and we are partnered with them, just so you guys know. We got the code up here and we also have the link down below, but I am getting a lot of people, especially people emailing like, hey, Wendy, what do I do with my 401k? And you actually can transfer your 401k or into an IRA, and you can utilize a lot of the different products that they have. They got 401ks, they got an IRA, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, all these different things. Well, actually, excuse me, these are the breakdowns of what those things are. But you can do all of this on iTrustCapital if that's something that you do want to do. And some people are interested in doing that. And also they do have Ethereum staking, which is good. I need to start staking my Ethereum again. I really, really, really need to. I just have post-traumatic stress from the crypto contagion, but I need to do it. Especially things are just so much more regulated now, not regulated, but they're just so much more safer and transparent. But anyways, they do offer more investment options than most 401k plans, including stocks, ETFs, crypto, and precious metals like gold and silver, with gold being at all-time high. Some people might want to pop into gold. So there are people calling gold to hit $5,000. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, with that being said, you can, with the Roth IRA they offer, you can fund it with after-tax dollars, but qualified withdrawals, including gains, are tax-free. Make sure you guys talk to your CPA and whatnot. And with everything happening in crypto, with all the traditional financial stuff, you might want to have access to this. So if you want to use it, great. If not, no worries. Now let's go ahead and talk about Let's talk a little bit about some fundamental stuff over here. So top MIT research shows decentralization could speed up Ethereum and Solana. Let's go ahead and read this take. It seems a little bit nuisanced over here, right? Let's go ahead and read and see what this MIT. Oh, and also too, just because somebody goes to college and they have a crazy degree doesn't mean they're smarter than you. Any way, shape, or form. But basically, a top research MIT says decentralization is not just a philosophy, it's how large systems works best. I'm not even going to read this. I don't feel like it. I'd rather talk about Ondo. Ondo Oasis Pro acquisition expands U.S. reach and sparks Ondo breakout hopes. Ondo is another good project that I think will continue to perform well, primarily because of RWAs, the affiliation with BlackRock. But in this story over here, Ondo Finance acquired Oasis Pro, which is a broker-dealer, including its broker-dealer. Also an alternative trading system and a transfer agent license. Oasis Pro is a regulated platform for trading and settlement of tokenized securities and RWAs on-chain. The deal gives Ondo a strong regulatory foothold in the U.S., key for institutional adoption. Good stuff over here. Good stuff. Now, BNY. BNY explores tokenized deposits on blockchain, or tokenized deposits as blockchain payments catch on. More tokenization. RWA is just a fancy term for tokenization. And I think it's important to pay attention to crypto projects, whether they're big or small, that focus on tokenization and then make a decision there. But Ondo seems to be a solid one. Hedera, which we've got a story about that too, is also a solid one in my opinion. But BNY Mellon is working on tokenized deposits to enable instant blockchain-based payments. Banks will have crypto integrated, and if the banks do not get crypto integrated, then the crypto exchanges will eventually become banks, and we'll see it happen on that end. This is part of its push to scale real-time cross-border and 24/7 settlement systems. Tokenized deposits help banks bypass legacy infrastructure, and BNY processes around $2.5 trillion in payments daily and oversees $55.8 trillion in assets. It's also working with Goldman Sachs and Swift on blockchain-based infrastructure and shared ledgers, aka Linea Consensus Ethereum. Now for Hedera, well, this is Hashgraph Group. So Hashgraph Group and Fraunhofer Fit announced successful completion of Web3 DORS project. So Hashgraph Group, that's built on Hedera, and Fraunhofer Fit have completed Web3 DORS project using Web3 tech to improve how organizations manage resources and services. It brings digital identities, which I don't like, tamper-proof credentials, I do like that, and automation to internal systems without disrupting existing workflows. Introduces programmable rewards and tokenization, showing how Web3 can enhance transparency, efficiency, and collaboration across institutional environments. I'm just really worried about the digital identities thing. I just don't trust anybody. I don't even know if I trust blockchain to secure it, because I just don't, because there's always someone in the back end that's looking at the data. But either way, we're moving forward, and it is what it is. That's what we're doing. Cynthia Loomis, she's basically talking about the HBAR. She says that legislative process is a slog, but Trump's EO allows action now. So she's talking about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. We're waiting on it. But again, the government is partially shut down for the most part. Remember, Congress, they get paid. Certain members still get paid, and the other public servants don't. Kind of reminds me of Newsom's law. Vanguard token legit? I have no idea. I've got no idea which one you're talking about. But kind of like Newsom, how he wouldn't give a raise to firefighters. But I mean, the state would pay for that. But fast food workers got a raise, which the companies had to pay for that. But I don't have any issue with my taxpayer dollars going to firefighters. I don't. I think that would be a good thing. But hey, what do I know? You know? What do I know? Next, Polymarket. Polymarket rolls out Bitcoin deposits to expand funding options, which is freaking wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So shout out to them. Platform already supports multiple tokens across Ethereum, Polygon, Base, Arbitrum, and Solana. So it makes sense that they want to get some of your Bitcoin. Yeah, but the whole teacher thing, I don't mind the teachers getting paid more money. I just need them to be vetted a lot better, and not just any old ranky-danky teacher can get the job, because our kids are very, very important. For some reason, we kind of put them on the back end. on the back end. So I've got no problem with teachers getting a raise either if they are good teachers. Part of that is the administration, the administrators and those people, they get paid way too much money to do a whole lot of nothing. But yeah, I'm 100%. No, not all teachers are bad. My daughter's teacher is a Christian teacher and she's a wonderful teacher. And I support, and my aunt was a wonderful teacher, wonderful teacher. But unfortunately, the wrong people are getting the high compensation, and it's unfortunate. Oh, teachers are important, but some of them are bad. Now back to Polygon or Polymarket. New York Stock Exchange owner to acquire $2 billion stake in Polymarket. This is crazy. I remember when Polymarket came out. Which was wonderful, and they just continue to do really good things. And this is big. This is New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. So we're going to see prediction markets probably come to stocks. I teach my daughter how to make $1 out of 15 cents. S&P launches new crypto index. The digital markets markets 50 will give diversified exposure. Why are we talking about this? Because this one's a big one. S&P launches new index combining 15 cryptos and 35 crypto-related stocks. The S&P Dow Jones indices, that's the part of the digital markets 50. No single asset can exceed 50% of the index. Stocks must have a $100 million market cap, and cryptos need $30 million market cap. And the index will follow quarterly rebalancing, which is cool. Love to see it. Also, let's talk a little bit about market structure. That's important. So Senator Cory Booker is now leading the Democratic negotiations on a crypto market structure draft in the Senate Agriculture Committee. It's crazy the Agriculture Committee is involved in this, but I digress. Talks are ongoing with Chairman John Bozeman team. No release date yet for the draft legislation. Booker has previously supported balanced regulation, expanded CFTC authority over crypto. Democrats are equally important as of... Yeah, no, I agree with the nurses too. The good nurses. I've got a whole thought process on that too, because I used to work with some. But the this over here that we just talked about, the regulation, Democrats are just as important in passing regulation. So we need everyone to kind of like get along and figure it out. But again, government is partially shut down. And I'm not allowed to say the term shut down on TikTok. My video isn't going to FYP page because of it. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to go because it's been a day. I'm still crabby. And I got to call them back and see when I'm going to try to expedite my kids' x-rays because I literally could go into an urgent care facility and have her get x-rays and get them the same day. Sending you guys love and light. Bye-bye.